if they would have shown how Garlemald was destroyed and then you come into a ruined landscape afterwards, that would have made a lot more sense.
The fist fight with fucking Xenos as a Lalafell. It's wrong. I changed my race because of that. It was absolutely... It's like watching a T-Rex try to punch someone.
That's what you see with all the other Ascians. Like, you know, these really deep stories. And then you just see this guy who literally does not give a fuck.
That's what the entire expansion is about. How do you deal with death and despair? That's it. That's what it's about.
Hello and welcome to Alith-Cast, Alith's official Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Apologies, last podcast we were saying we wanted to do a release of every 4 weeks, but due to schedules, etc., we are, I think now, 2 weeks late. We'll get better.
A lot of people got ill.
We're working on it. Let's first have a look at our new guest presenter. We have Cristina on the show. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
Lucinda is going to have an easy day today because we're missing Clem. So you're pretty much in the safe side, Lucinda. Let's take a moment to introduce Christina. So tell us where you're from in real life.
So yeah, I'm from Belgium. I'm 23 years old at the moment, and I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for almost 2 years. My boyfriend Omega gave me the introduction to Final Fantasy, and I immediately fell in love with the game. And with the FC as well. Now I'm an officer as well. So, okay.
Surrounded by officers here.
Yeah.
Literally, just only officers here.
Only officers. Yeah, I'm fighting a single battle here. You will not pull me over to the dark side, guys. It's not happening. Well, my second question was: any other games that you have played before? Any other MMOs?
This one is my first MMO, and it's also my first computer game. Because, I never played on the computer. I used to be a diehard PlayStation gamer. I played Call of Duty for many years. My favorite Call of Duty was Infinite Warfare, the zombies. I went batshit crazy on it. Did all the Easter eggs and everything, helped other people, as always. And then I met Omega, and he wasn't into PlayStation games or more like shooter games and all that. On our first date, he sat here in this room playing Final Fantasy while I was sitting on a chair over there, just looking at his screen.
Wait. I want to hear more about this date. Back of a room on a chair while your date was playing Final Fantasy. Yeah. I got to admire him, but tell me.
Okay, we met each other on a dating app in middle of COVID. There were no bars open, there was nothing open. So the only solution was to come to Omega's house. Then I got here and we were chatting a lot about being gamers and loving gaming and all that. Yeah, we started talking in the kitchen, and then he was talking about Final Fantasy the entire time, and I was like, okay, maybe you can show me. Started showing me the areas, the world, and the people, and then he started going into dungeons, doing duties. He was doing his roulettes while I was just sitting next to him. I was thinking, if this guy is so passionate about a game, then he must be very passionate in loving me as well. And then after a couple of months, because I got on the third date with Omega and I stayed here. My house wasn't good enough to stay there, and the fireman put me out because it was not good for living there. So Omega took me into his house and he said, stay as long as you need, and I never left. And then after 6 months, I got my own computer from Omega, and now we play together a lot. So.
All right. In his defense, you asked for it. You asked him to show you the game. So
he was talking about it so much that I got curious, and I was like, okay, show me. But I didn't expect he would be doing that so long. And I remember those early evenings in our fresh relationship where he was playing Triple Triad and Mahjong for hours and hours while I was just sitting here and bored. But we're still together, so it worked.
Like a new scale for first dates. It's like fancy restaurant with creme brulee on the top end, and then backseat gaming in Final Fantasy on the bottom. Yeah. And then everything else is in between.
Yeah, that's our entire relationship. Everything is upside down here. So.
Was he already in Alith, and is that how you joined Alith? Or
yes, Omega was a member from Aliths in one of the other games. In Final Fantasy, he returned to Aliths. Omega used to be an officer as well, and he also used to be a raid leader, I think. I got into the game, and he was like, "Oh, you should apply to Alith." And I was like, "Okay." So I applied. I told everybody I know I know Omega, and then I got accepted. And yeah, I immediately fell in love with the FC and all the people in here, and I found my home. So
I think everyone is very happy that Lucinda is not the only one having to defend the female species in this room anymore. So welcome. And for tonight's agenda, we are talking about patch 6.2. The patch will be titled Buried Memory, and it is scheduled to release in late August. There has been a live letter from Yoshi P. We are ready to talk about what is coming up. So I think the first things first is the new main story quest. What do you guys think? Where did we leave off? And what is happening?
I'll go first. I guess my overall opinion is that I'm curious to see what's coming, because I think we left on just knowing that like the 13th is like a thing. So I'm just hoping that in no part of this Xenos is like kind of doing any like surprise reappearance, even for a second. I am done. Like nothing. If I even see a second of him, like that's it. Like no.
You're quitting?
Yeah. The end. Goodbye.
Blowing me out of the water. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we left Xenos pretty far away in the universe. I think he's just still laughing somewhere in the universe.
Exactly, yeah. We just have to deal with his void synth. But that's completely separate. I am interested, though, because the name of the new dungeon, the something Troya, that, I think, is an island sanctuary similar to the Amazonian island. So that should be interesting.
for me, I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit scared because I cried my eyes out during every expansion and every patch. And now last patch was like, okay, it gave me more like happy vibes or good vibes. And now I'm just like scared because I saw those pictures, the screenshots, and I was like, it doesn't look so happy. So I'm a bit scared, but I'm also excited.
Yeah, they have to start really setting up the big bad Golbez, right? So that's what's going to start happening. I think Troy is going to be the first place where we start figuring out what the big end game is. Clem is usually the one that knows about this, and it's a Final Fantasy IV thing. It is going to revolve around the crystals, and I think Troya is a location where one of these crystals resides. So that's probably going to open that whole can of worms, and maybe something terrible happens while we are there. Who knows?
Do the crystals still hold power though? Since I mean the
no idea.
Zodiac and what's
I think they're just entirely different crystals. So I think it's just a completely different thing that they're going to start introducing. So I'm hoping to hear some machinations, some big storylines.
I just gotta say, if they're gonna open up a can of worms like an alternate universe, then that's gonna be lazy storytelling. I don't think that's gonna happen with Square Enix, but
they have to start doing something completely new. They just closed.
Yeah, true. I mean, the teaser we had of the Final Fantasy IV boss that is coming up, maybe the first direction of the big bad, but it could be the same like the Star Wars sequels where you had Snook that suddenly got killed off while you were thinking he's the big bad, and like it could be like, oh no, fuck this guy, we don't want him. Yeah. Okay. Everyone is pretty much blank on what's going to happen so far. We're in a very weird situation. Something new is happening, but nobody knows what. So how are you guys actually keeping yourselves entertained until the new patch? Because it's the end of August.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. And I'm not pointing at one thing at a time, but I just have so many things still open because I've been playing this game for now almost 2 years, and I just finished Endwalker and the patches, but I still have a lot of side quests to do. I still have to do the Manderville quest. I did A Realm Reborn, but I'm now in Heavensward with the Manderville, and I'm also leveling a lot of jobs. I have so many jobs to level, so I'm getting blinds by everything. So sometimes I just decide to do nothing or chit-chat with members and help out where I can, and then I get distracted again and then. So.
What about you, Lucy? What have you been doing in-game in order to fill the gap until the new patch?
I haven't really been as active, but when I have been on, I've been crafting, the delivery things, to the
deliveries to the house level here. Yep.
Yeah, and I started like catching up with the previous things that I haven't really done and stuff, and I'm planning to just keep on doing that. Really, I do want to make Gil again.
Have you been doing the Hildebrand, or?
I'll do it.
So there is new Hildy. Yeah, it's not that long. It's really like it's.
I am not looking forward to having to do Hildebrand in order to go towards the. Well, that's the next topic, but I'll mention it already, the legendary Mandeville weapons. I mean, the Mandeville weapons are locked behind, in my opinion, the most awful quest line of the entire fucking game, and they're forcing me to play everything in order to get relics this fucking patch. I am annoyed. Like,
I see a lot of skipping in your future.
Yes, a lot of escaping, yes.
I really enjoyed the Mandeville quest lines, but yeah, they are lengthy, and if you really want to watch all the cutscenes, it takes forever.
I like it now, but I'm only in Heavensward, so I didn't get the entire thing. I never picked up any relic quests, so I'm like, okay, if Mandeville can give me a relic, sure, good, because I kind of enjoy it. So, do you like it, Lucy?
For those on the audio listeners, Lucy is nodding yes.
Yeah.
The relic weapons are usually a huge time sink. I'm not sure if they're going to be as grindy this time as they were last time. But they're only very briefly the best weapons in the game. So you don't even really go out and get them.
It's always a little bit like that. But I mean, maybe one of you can inform us in where we were at. I think the last time I had the last update on Mandeville was before Shadowbringers, where he got suddenly sucked into the turret.
He was sucked into some other world. Yeah, that was the last thing. Yeah, that was the last thing.
Is there anything known about the reason why he's suddenly alive and back again? Because I mean, if you tell me he was sucked into another world and out of existence, I would be celebrating and doing pigeon flips.
He is somewhere that you have also been. Yes.
All right. Let's not do the spoilers. And maybe I already did. Spoiler. I'm sorry if that was the case. Spoiler alert for you, Belle. All right, so we have the story continues. We have Vilde Hildebrand, and we have another side quest that I'm personally excited about, and that is the Tataru's Grand Endeavor that we left off in Heavensward.
Curious to see what it's all about, because like I told you, I didn't do all the side quests yet, so I still got to see a little bit how it's gonna be. But I'm excited to do stuff with Tataru. I'm a big fan, so.
And you're going to need to do the level 60 Alliance raids. The Wiping City of Patak.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a Klingon name, yeah?
That's what I call it. Patak, I think, is idiot or something.
Yeah, Patak. I think Tataru is in the entire game the character that had the most character development, right? Trying from a scion bookkeeper, trying her hands on becoming a summoner, I believe, was it? That was back in Stormblood. It was like, okay, I need to help these guys trying with the little carbuncle and basically utterly failing and going into this whole commerce endeavor. It's very cool. What do you guys feel of Tataru? Is she gonna take over the Rowena? Yeah, Rowena Splendors. She was the big commerce authority there, and then I think Tataru's taking over. What do you think, Lucy?
I think she had developed the most, like, out of everyone, to be fair, because, like, I don't know, we're so used to the Warrior of Light, like, doing all these grand things, but like, Tataru is just, she's changed so much. Like, I love her so much.
And I am just very sorry because I forgot to give you the time up to introduce your plushie of the podcast.
This is Big Penguin.
Does Big Penguin have a name?
Big Penguin is the name.
Yeah.
She's just Big
Penguin. I would have expected the name from Happy Feet. What was it? Mumble?
I like Big Penguin. It's cute.
He's just asleep, so I'm just...
Aww.
Yeah.
He's comfy.
Yeah.
He's resting, for sure. But I agree with Lucy, though. Like, Tataru is definitely an interesting character. She keeps just blending into the new... whatever's necessary and changing as a character. But she's basically like some serious money vibes right there, right? She's like I'm going to make that money. And I'm going to be like the next big Gugujiru.
Also, when I think about Tataru, I also think about the outfits that she has given us throughout the years, right?
Oh, yeah.
And thinking about outfits, about the House Leveilleur special deliveries. I just got it yesterday. I gotta say that outfit is like I'm a fucking Peaky Blinder over there with the little cap.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's a cool outfit. It feels very much like the twins' outfit, though.
I saw the outfit on Omega, and it looked really cool. And also the other outfits I got during the main story, I really like them. So I used it as a glamour for a long time.
Yeah, glamours are getting more and more, and I'm very happy they added the space in the box over there in the last patch.
Oh, yes.
Very happy about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Something else that's coming up, what I'm totally disconnected with, that is tribal quests. We are getting the Omicrons, the gathering quests.
Nice. I can actually do that one because I don't have crafters at high levels to do the other ones. So excited to finally get a new one.
I'm looking forward to the Omicron kind of quest to see what they what it entails. And I do like the name change, to be honest. Instead of like beast tribes now, like, you know, they actually feel more humane.
More intelligent, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense, because they were actually at the end of Endwalker, right? They were all working together with the grand companies of Eorzea in order to bring upon a brighter future. I haven't touched them, I think, since the beginning of Shadowbringers.
I just started picking up the beast tribe quests and everything, so I have a lot of work to do still, because now I think I have like 3 Realm Reborn beast tribes, and then I have the Pixies and Endwalker beast tribe as well. So a lot of work, but also looking forward to it. So.
They are weekly capped, aren't they? And how much
Daily.
you can get per week?
You can
daily?
do 12 a day.
Yeah, daily. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really happy. I stopped basically doing my relats and trying to get level capped, and I'm happy, or not level capped, but tombstone capped per week. And I'm happy I did that because we're getting new tombstones, right? I have focused a lot on crafting as well, and if I found out that we got new tombstones and I've still been slaving away at getting them every week, then I will be properly annoyed. So I'm happy I made the change since last time. But yeah, we touched a little bit on the new dungeon already, the Fell Court of Troya. Have you guys seen it? I've seen a singular screenshot from a long distance, and that's about it.
Yep.
Basically, yeah, I'd like to see if that picture comes up anywhere.
Yeah, there we go. It's very purpley.
I do like the theme. It does look pretty cool, you know.
Seems kind of derelict.
Kind of like a purple Northern Lights setting, isn't it?
Or cursed.
Yeah, because it's fell, right? So it's definitely got some weird hell vibes going.
But the purple makes it soft. I mean, if it was red, I would be like, oh no. But it's purple, so I'm kind of like, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I think this is gonna be connected to the Final Fantasy IV boss that we saw at the end of the last patch.
This might actually be where we saw him.
At the same time, I was very surprised to see a couple of the 13 gods already in the last raid, right? The 25-man raid. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, oh, actually, that big teaser cliffhanger we had at the last patch, here you go, kill him in this dungeon and you're done with him. And then we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of MacGuffins. So things that you're chasing to get to the next thing that you're chasing to get to the next thing that you're chasing. And I think all of the places that we get to see Gobez in it's things that we're going to be chasing. And then we're always going to arrive late, and Sid always has something to do with it. Those are my predictions.
And then you will have to, what's the guy's name? The traveling minstrel, in order to get it in stream mode, and he will suddenly be there like, I saw the whole shit, let's do it again. I don't think I've been in a proper dungeon, I've only been crafting. I haven't touched a combat class in well over a month, I think.
I've been doing all the savages, so I'm looking forward to the savage tiers as well. That's what's been keeping me busy. I just cleared P4S like 3 weeks
You know
ago.
what I'm looking forward to? All the people who are doing Savage who will need food and
Yeah.
pots, and I can sell
I've been hoarding Birkin and Sap to be able to sell it at high premiums.
You guys are wrapping the food for the raid buffs.
Yeah. I can't make it, but I can hoard something that you need to make it and then sell it.
New dungeon, definitely. We'll have a new trio coming up. Normal and extreme. We don't know which one yet. Any guesses which one it will be?
I have no clue.
Usually connected to something in the new content, right? And since we're going to Troya, I'm thinking it's going to be something there.
Maybe one of those. Were they fiery wisps or dragons, or what was it? Please remind me at the end of the last patch, the teaser that we got with the Final Fantasy IV boss.
I think they were like communicating through some sort of mirrors, I think. So
Yeah.
Couldn't really, I think they were like primal essences or some sort of, but it could be one of those. Or it might just be, you go to this Troya place and they're like, who the hell are you? You need to prove who you are, so fight us.
Yeah.
It could be something like that as well, something completely other.
So, I haven't touched the rating at all. Like maybe the standard ones, just in a duty finder, but that's it. Have you guys, Cristina and Lucinda, touched the savage raids?
I did. I got to the 3rd one and then like proc some of it, but I don't really like doing things repetitively again and again, and again, like especially when I keep failing, when I really want to get further, I just feel like crafting, even though it's still repetitive, at least I'm seeing progress. So I just like to, stick with
Seeing
that.
money.
Well, I haven't been doing much Savage things at all, just because I'm too busy doing other stuff and it's hard for me to find a group. And I'm like, I'll do it one day. I do get a little bit jealous every time when I see that somebody cleared, because I'm like, I want to be a part of it. I want to do it as well. Oh, but I got so many other stuff to do first. So. And I'm also terrible when it comes to Savage content. I do enjoy it, but I don't like watching YouTube guides and all those things because, I'm having a lot of brain farts, so I forget things real quickly. So most of the time when I do content, I'm just telling Omega, like, oh, you watch the guide and I'll just follow you. But then when he's not around, I die many, many times and I'm just going in fully unprepared. And I'm like, okay, just put a Dorito on your head, I'll follow. But that's impossible on this Savage content. So I'm like, okay, one day I will find the courage to watch those YouTube guides and clear those things, but not now. So
I understand. I mean, I miss doing that type of content, but I cannot devote to aesthetic. So that's basically, and I'm not gonna jump into a party finder every time. No.
Yeah, my experience with Party Finder has been very hit and miss in the Savage, especially now that most people have already gone through and kind of stopped doing it again. The Party Finder groups are not great. I've run into so many weird people that are just not nice. I tend to just do it with FC Statics. It's way more fun. And since we've actually gotten I think we actually have the entire group geared now. So as soon as the new tier comes out, we're going to go in blind. That's going to be fun because then there are no guides. It's just like, okay, figure it out.
It's beautiful motivating, isn't it? When nobody knows what to do. Well, I mean, there will be the P5 to P8. Is there a bigger storyline behind Pandemonium? I mean, it's vampires. That's about my knowledge. So
with P4, like Hesperus is the guy that you meet at the start, right? And then you kill him at the fourth one. And I thought that was kind of anticlimactic because I was like hoping he would be the big bad at the end. So there must be bigger bads or something. So I have no idea what to expect because Hesperus was basically the Dracula of that place, and you already killed Dracula. So
yeah, it's very Castlevania-like. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they do stick with that theme because I like vampires. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of mix it up.
Maybe werewolves. Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, so we have a few more things that are coming in the patch. It's quite a big one, the 6.2. Variant dungeons. 1 to 4 players, scalable. You can go in solo, you can go with a full 4-man team. They are large open style dungeons. They scale towards the party size. They start at level 90 and you can switch jobs inside. It feels a little bit like Boja, right? But then in a smaller scale. First one is called Sail Din Subterrane. What do you guys feel about it?
I don't really care about like the dungeon itself. I just think the whole concept is quite cool. I think it's a change for me. I know I'm really bored of the formulaic like dungeons, like you just go in. I'm so bored of it. I actually hate 4-mans. I avoid most roulettes for that reason, but this feels like something I would actually try because like, I can challenge myself if I want to do it. Like I don't have to bring people with me but like also I could do it with people.
Yeah, I agree. I think the mechanic really serves into the viewpoint of Yoshi P, where they want to make the game accessible for a single player as well, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just excited because you can do it like alone. So you don't need to per se have an entire party or whatever. And I like to do the first time on my own a little bit because I'm just like, okay, or when I need to manage some anger or whatever, I can just go in there and kick everything. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I need that thing sometimes. So looking forward.
Exactly. Like the thing is, like only the normal difficulty allows for solo play, which I think is something they might roll back on later to just allow people to try and solo the harder ones, because that would actually be pretty cool, like a completely different type of experience, because like people are soloing deep dungeons as well, right? There's a title to do that, so I'm expecting something like that to happen as well. I think one of the coolest things they added is that the dungeon is like varied, because you make choices and it changes the outcome and it changes which bosses you get and stuff like that. So you actually you have to run it more than once as well, which I think is cool.
Yeah, this actually makes me feel like a double feeling, because back in Final Fantasy XI, there's still something that haunts me to this day, and that was trying to unlock Shiva as a summoner. Back then in 11, you had to get this attunement fork, and you had to do it solo. you had to go into the dungeon and try to beat Shiva there, and I failed like 20 times. It still haunts me in my dreams to this day, and we're talking like 20 years ago, right? This is like long ago. Nowadays, it's a lot different because my life changed, right? And you have a kid, and your time is becoming very limited. And right now, whenever I am going into a dungeon, I need to check my surroundings in the house, right? Is the little one asleep? If so, how long has he been asleep? Do I have 30 minutes to spend to a dungeon? Because I cannot go AFK inside because there's 3 other people there, right? Or is he asleep there? Is he sound asleep? Or is there something else coming up? I always have to check, do I have time to devote a complete 30 minutes? I cannot go AFK there, right? I mean, for me, a game like a total war game, right? You can just step away from the screen and do what you need to do in real life, which takes priority. But allowing within Final Fantasy more single player content, for me, that would be very good. Yeah.
I think a lot of parents will agree with you.
But that is the average player these days. They have 1 hour a day and they have kids and they need to hit the pause button. That's how it is. That's the average player these days.
Oh, it's so old.
Yeah, I know.
Statistics are on our side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And we have the criterion dungeons, high difficulty 4-player dungeons. First one is also called the Sildi Subterrane, and it's harder than the Varian dungeons. And there will be a Savage mode too for those that are looking for an extreme difficulty experience.
These don't have the varying paths. These are just like more set, and they have difficulties with matchmaking and stuff. So this is basically smaller groups, difficult content. So no face rolling.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with Lucy. Like, I am feeling very happy that I stopped doing roulettes to get tombstones. I hated doing the same dungeons over and over again. And like, it's so annoying. Yeah, they do give a lot of new content, but it turns out to be the same 15, 20 dungeons over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, the gameplay doesn't vary. Even if the locale varies, it's always the same loop. So there's always 2 groups of trash mobs. You pull them in one, then you have a boss, repeat twice, and boss done. It's very, very formulaic at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. And I feel like with the variant dungeons and what the direction they're going now with a 4-player extreme mode, that will change it a little bit. Maybe it's the start of something that's continuing in the upcoming patches. I hope so. Definitely single player content for me all the way. I mean,
Exactly.
I also think and hope that the Savage dungeons will be easier to make groups for because you need only 4 people. I think most of us know 4 people to join them for a dungeon or anything, so it's easier to get in there, unless you have a static group, of course.
all right. And then we have the last piece of the patch, which is the Island Sanctuary, something I was very excited about until just before the recording started here. We were talking about it, and I was told anything you do in the Island Sanctuary will not be available outside of the Island Sanctuary, and vice versa.
Yeah, there's probably going to be something that you take away, maybe like mounts, minions, or something that you earn in there, but most of it is a self-contained economy. It's really like a separate game. So how would you like it to interact with the other parts of the game then, Lucinda?
Okay, I know a bunch of people were hoping that Island Sanctuary would finally, give long awaited instanced housing, people. But hopefully that's something that could be potentially extended upon in the future because it shows there's infrastructure for it. But I was kind of hoping that the things that you could do could be sold on the market forwarded for gil, and actually just have another place where you can spend gil, because I think we need more places that we can spend because there's not enough. Also, the gardening for that we have, that it would have been an extension of that, so people who don't have a house are not
Still
screwed
gardening.
over still.
Yeah, I could see them doing that at some point.
Do we get anything like a house in there, or is it more like a barn where you can maybe place a few objects? Or
I think it will be a barn, but I'm not sure. So.
You put strip pole in it.
I have a feeling it's going to be a way more than that. It's going to be like different structures that you can build, like gardens, houses, barns, windmills, whatever. It's going to be all kinds of crap. Because you have a whole island basically. So.
True. I know a lot of people kind of are disappointed because they're not able to prep your things and bring it into the actual game. But I think about it this way, you get a moment where you think oh my god, I'm so burned out on Final Fantasy XIV because you're doing the same thing or whatever reason. You can still go to the island sanctuary, and that way you will be still able to communicate with your FC members, friends, whatever, but you're not playing the complete same game. You're having a sort of side way. That's kind of interesting because I hear a lot of people telling me that they are getting a little bit burned out or that they are bored or don't know what to do or whatever, and I'm like, this is perfect. I mean, and I also think that if a lot of players, and they will do that, if a lot of players make suggestions for being able to craft things and use them outside the island sanctuary, I think that Square Enix will definitely do that.
Yeah, and you can visit your friends and FC members' sanctuaries, right? So
Yeah.
that's nice. It's not completely public. It's not completely private.
No.
Unless you have no friends and you're not at an FC.
You think they will keep using the same building mechanics that they have now?
I do think, like, if it interacts with the rest of the game world, housing is definitely the way in which that would happen. Housing and gardening, all the stuff that you can do and buy and place and etc. Especially for people who don't have a house to put that in. I think that's definitely one of the things that I would expect them to add to Island Sanctuary, if not immediately, then very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't really see a good reason not to do that.
Well, I mean, it would be a good replacement for wanting a house, I guess. Yeah. And if they are instanced, then I think that's the first step there. Yeah. Oh, let's see what the Island Sanctuary is going to bring us in the end of August. So then the last point is the Unreal Trial. Sephiroth again, isn't it?
It's been a while since I did that one.
When was he again? Was that Stormblood or was it Heavensward even?
It's him in Base or Heavensward, yeah.
I think Heavensward. I'm excited for it because it will be the first time that I'm doing any of those trials, not unsynced. I leveled my job so hard that I was way up front with the stories and the side quests, and also the queue times as a DPS for those Containment Bay trials. They were horrible, but like horrible. I did like almost everything unsynced just to get through it and have it done. So I'm excited, that it's getting added and it's new, and a lot of people will be wanting to do it, and I will be able to do it, but not unsynced. So I will be feeling proud that I did it if I survive. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Like current game content, in order to get the achievement, doing it while it was current, that's definitely a very
It's a funny thing that the DPS leveling experience as a first class is so different from the other two.
Yeah, I started as a DPS because I had massive anxiety. Now I'm more tanking than anything else when I'm not leveling my other DPS classes.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, tanking anxiety. I mean, for me, it's always been like, hey, look, if we die, we die. Who cares? But yeah.
For me, if my character dies, it feels like I'm dying, so...
That about sums it up about patch 6.2. We're ready to move on to the news part of the podcast. So, Bob, you want to take it away?
That's my jig, isn't it? Yeah, let's just go through it. It's not that much, but just quick FC status recruitment update. It's been a while since the last podcast, right? So since the last podcast, 40 new players have joined in a pretty reasonable trickle. So I think FC status and activity is good. And we're all currently experiencing blistering heat in Europe. So if you're in the game, don't forget to stay hydrated as well. Then we've had some recent promotions. We've had Naya Ilfelnirva. I have no idea how to say that, but a former member and recruiter, now returning member and returning recruiter as well. So thanks again for helping us out there. Eloa Seren, a former and now returning cast member. So she's not with us today, but hope to invite her and get her in sometime soon. So that's going to be really cool. On to the screenshot spotlights. As always, we pick roughly monthly a winning screenshot spotlight from all the screenshots that members post. And we actually had 2 winners this last period, Shuiva Ethereal and Morgana Elric. So if we can get those up, here we indeed have Morgana's picture. Very reminiscent of Scarlet Witch. Very cool. And then the other one's going to come by as well. Very nice. It's a bit witch themed, isn't it? Yeah, very cool. Very nice. Well done. Excellent. Keep them coming. Just post in the screenshots gallery and then we'll vote on them. And if they win, you get put on the show, basically. Then, Alith Awards. We had an award ceremony, and we'll just run down the award winners. Our champion for this period is Varen. Varen Vixera did a lot of stuff. Isn't also a raid leader, I believe. It does a lot of things for the community as a whole and is just a very cool, likable person. And then another cool, likable person is the newcomer of the month, because that's Lisa Likeable. Very good name to be an award winner that month. Very nice. And then in the above and beyond category, we had Varen again, unsurprisingly, Raven, Valentine, Rudy, Viel, and Elizari. So very well done, all of you, for adding so much positivity to the FC and getting your noms. And I think I'm going to hand it off to Christina here, because awards is very much your thing these days.
I put my heart and soul in it. Like we announced during the last awards ceremony, I will from now on also be taking the votes from the thank you channel and convert them into actual votes on the website. That doesn't mean that you don't have to vote anymore. So I still want to press on that everybody still votes, or I will chase you. And I will keep screaming until everybody has a headache and voted. No, I won't do that. Maybe I will. If you have any questions about Alith Awards, send me a message. Take a look at the website. Yeah, of course, nominate. We're doing them bi-monthly. And also, yeah, please don't burn me out by not voting and spamming the thank you channel. So just still use the website to vote. That's all. So thank you.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And indeed, go vote. Do that. Then next up, the vacancies. We're always still looking for recruiters, right? It helps to have more people. So if you like the FC and you want to have a kind of low effort way to get on board and help us out, get more cool people into the FC, then you can sign up as a recruiter. Basically means you go talk to people who might not know that we exist and might want to join. That's basically it. And also we are always looking for raid leaders, because we always want more events so that we can spread the content around, because there is a lot of content in this game. Especially older content, and we need raid leaders to run that content. So, not just the new stuff, but all the stuff, all the things. And as well, casters. We're always looking for casters to be here doing this. So if this looks cool, just come sign up. You just need to, be chill, talking about the game. That's what we're doing. And last but not least, it is with some sadness that we have to announce that we have an officer vacancy. Our lovely Cthulhu Spicy Meatballs has decided to step down for now, and that leaves a spot. Now we're tied at 8, and we don't want to have 8 people. We need an uneven number of officers. So we can break votes 5-4. That's important. So we have an officer vacancy. It should already be up by the time this airs. So go and check that out if you're interested in joining the team. There's a bunch of officers here. Roof's the only exception. This is the officer stream. Very nice.
No, it's not.
We outnumber
But
you.
soon it will be.
Nice. As always, I said there's a bunch of newcomers. I said there's 40 since the last cast. I'm not going to list all 40 of them. That's going to take too long. I'll just do the last 12, I guess. So here's some of the new members that have joined. A returning member is Magnus, the Magnet Arkwright. Then we have Mrs. Lalafell and Mr. Jelly, Idrim Hearthwarden, Decina Fenris, Mythless, Sane Shanda, Intoxicated Mind, Vutha Horo, Nova Chaotic, Lord Shamble, and Yura Zamheim. No idea how to pronounce that. Those are just some of the new interesting people. So if you run into any of them, give them a wave. Say hello. Warm welcome to all the new people. That basically wraps up the news for this cast. So just as a reminder, how do you get in touch with us? We have a website, FFXIV.com. You can read up on us. You can hit us up on Discord. You can find us in game. We're now in the Imperium, by the way. And if you're interested in joining, you're not already a member watching the cast, then just go fill out an application form. Why not?
Think maybe final closing. Christina, let's hope that we can welcome you again real soon. And again, guys, we will definitely try and improve our release schedule. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next Alith-Cast.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Imagine having a machinist gun that shoots the green chickens. Oh my god. That would be amazing.
Or just the green chicken.
Saints Row 3, big purple dildo as a bat.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from these weapons, but...
Lucy, you're so bendy.
Oh, please.
We need to make cracking noises just so like.
Yeah, that would be so satisfying. Cracking Lucy ASMR.